Hey, Nickie Brown here. No matter where you are and what part of the world you're in, I hope that you're having a good day. So, I wanted to come on here and talk about relationships. It won't be long, just a little brief, a little something that I wanted to say, right? I noticed that a lot of unavailable people, male or female, will approach someone who is in a relationship. So when we say unavailable, a lot of people are emotionally unavailable. And so they attract other people who are emotionally unavailable, whether they're in a relationship or not, right? Because we attract who we are and not what we want, right? So the person who is in a relationship, if they take it upon themselves to approach someone who is not in a relationship and that person rejects them, they have a tendency to get mad or even just feel so rejected that it bruises their ego or hurts their feelings, right? They're really disappointed. But I don't think that some people take into consideration that for some people, yes, they are willing to start a relationship with someone who's already in a relationship. And that's fine. We all have free will, it's a personal preference, and adults can do whatever they want to do. It's their decision, it's their life, to each his or her own, right? But for that person who says that they're not interested, excuse me, for them, it could be a lack of integrity. It could be deceptive. It could be against their morals, values, and sensibilities, right? And so it's like because this person is being rejected, they will try even harder to convince this person that this is what they need to do for selfish reasons because this is just what this person wants. And so some of them will push, some of them will pull back, right? But a lot will keep pushing and keep trying and just keep trying to, what do they call, finesse, and really convince this person that this is what they should settle for, right? And when the person says, yeah, no, I'm not going to settle for that, again, a lot of people get mad. And I don't understand how, again, for some people, it's a lack of integrity. So if you're lying and being deceptive, what else are you going to do? What else are you capable of? And again, the person who is pursuing, for some reason, doesn't see it that way and really has the audacity to be mad, not taking the other person into consideration at all, not taking the fact that somebody might think this is completely disrespect. Some people really feel disrespected. Like, why would you even waste my time and try to talk to me knowing that you're already in a relationship? Because if you're already in a relationship, that means we can't be in a relationship, or that means we can't get married, because that's how some people see it. And you'll never be able to convince them of what your mindset is, because that's not how their mindset thinks. But again, there are people who would be okay with it. And so I just say, why not pursue those people who are okay with, but that's not enough of a challenge, right? If somebody just freely gives it to you and they're open to it, it seems like sometimes for some people, not for everybody, that's just not good enough. They just want what they want, and they just want that person to settle and deal with whatever. And then if the person doesn't want to deal with it, it's like, who does that person think that they are, right? Or I need to knock that person down a notch. Or that person thinks too highly of themselves. But it's called self love. And really, for some people, they don't love themselves. And this is why they feel rejected. Because a strong, confident person, if they're rejected, they can just say, okay, I'll move on. Not to say that it won't bother them to a certain degree, but it doesn't make them angry or vengeful or spiteful. It doesn't even make them not want to talk to the person anymore. And there are a lot of people who think they're healthy, but they still have a lot of healing to do. Because again, is it really logical and reasonable to get mad at someone because they don't want to be your second runner up, or your, you know, when this person doesn't do right, I'm going to go over here, or your option, or how, whatever that looks like, whatever verbiage you want to use, side piece, whatever. And again, it's male or female, because there are men who, maybe they were dealing with someone who was in a relationship, or maybe, the woman was married. And maybe he was cool with it at first. But once you go there with somebody, um, one or both people can start to have feelings or emotions, right? You can't help but to care for someone sometimes. And, at a certain point, the guy may feel like, well, I'm really just being treated like a piece of meat. Like she, you know, um, is kind of like pimping me out. Or, like, it's no different than when a man, there's no difference. It's just that it's a woman, and typically people don't think of it in the same way, but it's really the same thing if a man does it to a woman as if a woman does it to a man. Because some of them are, oh, I'll buy you this, I'll buy you that, or I'll treat you to lunch, I'll treat you to dinner, but really they just have an agenda, right? And we're mature adults, so we should know what that agenda is. So I really just wanted to say that, like, for someone who gets mad, there still needs to be some healing that takes place. And I'm sure that people will disagree with me, and that's fine. Because it's not about you having the desire, because, plural marriage has become more open um, within recent years. There's polyandry and polygyny. So there's polyandry is one woman with multiple husbands or partners, and polygyny is a male with more than one partner or wife, right? And there are men who are mature enough to handle, being in a polyandrous relationship. So, you know, we're not here to judge that, and place double standards and assumptions on it, like, oh, she just want, did that, whatever. No, that's not always the case. And again, we shouldn't judge. But anyway, like I said, there's more of a double standard when it comes to women. However, there are more open plural relationships taking place in the 2022, right? So you have those people who are confident enough to say, okay, this is what I want. Is this what you want also? We agree. Let's proceed. Let's see if we all can get along and make this thing work out. And people make it work, right? But then there are those who, again, try to be sneaky and deceptive and don't realize that it's considered a lack of integrity. And maybe if they were confident enough to say, listen, I'm already in a relationship, which some people do, I'm already in a relationship, but this is what I would like to have with you. And not try to manipulate the person and make them, you know, make it seem like it's going to be something that it's not. Just be honest. A lot of times, if someone's honest, you would be surprised with how many people will be accepting. But when you're not honest, this is when you get rejected and you get your feelings hurt. So I just wanted to say that because I felt like somebody needed to hear it. And I really hope that that was helpful. And again, it doesn't apply to everybody, and we're all grown adults. We can do whatever we want to do. But if that was helpful to you, I am thankful. Good night.